I did cheat. I have some actual notes because, and then I found out that Jason Reitman and I were going to tell all the same stories, so I'm going to steal some of them, and I'm going to leave some of them for him. Thank you to the Santa Barbara Film Festival for having us all here. It's my favorite film festival, and I'm not just saying that. I've actually been here 4 times, which I'm pretty sure is more than any other film festival, and not just because you don't have to get on a plane to come here. It's more than that. And honestly, I feel like this festival knows how to honor filmmakers and actors in a very meaningful and specific way. This being an excellent example of that. I can't think of a better fit for the Kirk Douglas Award than Mr. Hugh Jackman. Okay, now bear with me here. If this was our senior year in high school, as it is for both of our children, Hugh's and mine, not together, we were all in the same senior high school class. Hugh Jackman would be our valedictorian. He would be our student council president. He would be the homecoming king. He would be the captain of the football team, I guess assuming it was Australian rules football. And he would also play the lead in the school musical. That's a remarkable set of talents. What is more remarkable to me is that he behaves like he's the third guy from the left in the chorus of the High School Musical. I honestly have never worked with a movie star who is more humble and more of a team player. I've also never worked with a movie star who is more hardworking. And here's where I'm not going to steal one of Jason Reitman's stories, but I called Jason during pre-production. You and I had never met before during pre-production for The Front Runner, about a week before we started shooting. And I just asked him flat out, I said, what kind of guy is Hugh Jackman? Because I was the only guy in show business who didn't know, I guess. And Jason said, well, he's the nicest guy in show business. And I said, honestly, that's not saying a lot. The bar is not set all that high, really. And he said, no, he's like a real world, amazingly nice person, and you're gonna love working with him. And he is a very hard worker, and this is where I'm not stealing Jason's story. I think the evidence is on the screen, and we've already seen some of it, and we'll see some more of it, that Hugh Jackman's hard work and preparation pays off. The guy learned how to throw an axe for The Front Runner, among other things, much more important and much more subtle about, becoming and channeling Gary Hart. We were shooting the scene where, based on, of course, the real story, where Gary Hart was on the campaign trail and against his poor beleaguered campaign manager's advice, wanted to go to this lumberjack event in New Hampshire. And suddenly he's there about to throw an axe at a target. So Hugh, of course, has practiced his ass off throwing an axe, apparently. There are lots of bets going on in the cast and crew. I bet on you. I wouldn't make that up, I bet on. And on the first take, after this incredibly elaborate camera move that takes like 45 seconds through this lumberjack competition and all of us, and 75 of us, in the ensemble watching, the camera comes on to Hugh. Hugh picks up this axe, and he's like, how far are you from the target? He's 2,000 yards from the target. But he's like 75 feet away from the target, realistically, with an axe. And he throws the axe and hits a bullseye on the first take. A bullseye on the first take. And there were enough cameras that there was one camera on myself and another, a bunch of the supporting cast. And it was one of those no acting required moments because we all just went, oh my God. there's evidence of that kind of preparation in virtually every film Hugh Jackman does, whether it's his hard work learning all the choreography and the music and period detail for things we've seen like Les Mis or The Greatest Showman, working his butt off in the gym to be that Wolverine dude. And this is something that I think because he's so good at it, people tend to take for granted. He works syllable by syllable on almost every movie he's ever made, except, I guess, Australia. To lose his natural Australian dialect, and not just to lose that, but to take on a specific regional United States or UK dialect. And that ain't easy. And when you add that to everything you're having to do at the same time as an actor, it's basically like being a singer and a dancer and an actor at the same time, which is another thing that people that haven't tried to do that don't get how hard it is. So honestly, apologies to James Brown, Hugh Jackman, hardest working man in show business, and yet somehow finds the time to genuinely be a dedicated family man. Husband, father, son, brother, maintaining close ties with his old mates from the old days, and just being a team player on every set that he's on. The only chink in his armor, I think, that I was able to find was, despite his best efforts, he's a pretty mediocre backgammon player. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I won more than I lost, you know. You know what? That's not even true. Actually, he won. He won more. It's like really the guy's only flaw is that he just kind of makes the rest of us look a little bit lame by comparison. So, without further ado, we have yet another video tribute here, a film montage featuring some exceptional work by a wonderful actor, an exemplary human being, my friend, and a bit of a pain in the ass, Hugh Jackman.